We were part of the Slam Richmond team. Well, I came back from Nationals this year and we took second place. So came back with a nice trophy, but it didn't feel right for me. So I wanted to come back to Richmond and do something with this talent. So I started Slam Nahutal, and Nahutal is actually the language of the Aztec people. So me being a Latino, I wanted it to have a strong connection to my heritage, but also in Aztec culture, there was nothing more honorable than you could be than a poet. So it was very revered, and it was actually a way of reaching immortality through your creativity, which is actually our slogan.
One of the coolest things that we decided to focus on this year was the show. Last year we focused more on the slam, something that poets will really have a great time participating in. But remembering why the people who created the National Poetry Slam did this, they wanted to make the literary arts more inclusive and also fun for the audience. And so instead of making it just a competition and just the open mic or just the slam, we decided to make it a show this year. So anybody who comes out to see Slam Nahutal will be getting a show just as good as Def Poetry Jam on HBO or any Shakespeare you might see.
So our event's basically at Gallery 5. It's going to be at 7 o'clock every third Thursday of the month, and it's going to run until June. Pretty much you're going to come in, we're going to have a featured poet start off the night. It's going to go into a slam. At the end, we're going to have an open mic, so if you stick around, there's an opportunity for other people to share words as well. I like to start with very lofty goals, even if you don't get there, just because I feel it really drives people around me. And 1 year's worth of food for a family, if you think about it, it's just an amazing concept. I grew up impoverished in a Latino family and came here, and there was a lot of times when I was young and remember being hungry. So I know that feeling. So I know what 1 year's worth of food could do for somebody here in Richmond.
So we bring food for thought and someone gets food. It seems like in the slam community, how the egos and everything get a lot involved in it, but we found that we were creating so much momentum that we had to ask ourselves why we were poets. And when we reviewed our work, we realized that we weren't poets, we were teachers. And now we have to ask ourselves, what are we teaching? And we're trying to teach ourselves and our community how to get along with each other. So the best thing that we could actually do is set up our slam, not just to bring another team to the National Poetry Slam, but to actually make a difference with the momentum that we're creating. And hopefully gathering all the other poets who are doing the same things that's part of the ancient oral tradition and have their work also contribute to that collection.
You're going to be moved. Like, there's a lot of slam poetry, I would say, that's gimmicky, but our team really speaks from the heart. If you hear any of my poems, I have a poem called Janitor's Hands, which talks about my father's struggles as an immigrant and how much him being a janitor really changed my life. You know, we talk about where we come from. We talk about things that people could relate to. I've had people who, at our shows who were recovering addicts come up to me and be like, your poem gave me enough strength to go one more night without getting high. You know, I have a poem called Addiction. So if you want to be moved, if you want to become something that's not superficial, because so much of our popular culture is, and really go home feeling something emotional inside, whether you want to cry, laugh, dance, sing, you're going to feel all these various emotions by hearing our poetry. And to me, there's nothing more powerful than that. But at the same time, you're helping a family. So how many things can you go to and really have a good time, but also feel good leaving that place knowing that there's going to be a family in Richmond who needs food and they're going to have that food.